coming up next. It was time to sadly stop moving.
Gosh, I've
got all the gags today, Hannah.
Today, look at you.
Sadly, as Hannah Spearitt, she became the second celebrity to leave Dancing on Ice. She's going to be here next with skating icons Matt Evers and Frankie Seaman. We're going to see you all straight after this. Weekend after an unexpected skate-off twist, there wasn't one, it was time for another celebrity to hang up their blades and say goodbye to the ice.
Only one of you will make it through to next week. The other will leave the competition immediately.
Going through to next week is... Karen Collin!
Which means, sadly, Hannah and Andy, you will be leaving the competition.
I know, but was it the right decision? We're not sure about that. We're joined now by the wonderful Victi Hannah Spearitt alongside former Dancing on Ice pros Matt Evers and Frankie Seaman, who have started a new podcast covering all the ice rink action. So I suppose this is a busy time for you.
Which I love as well that you get dressed up in a suit for. It just kills me.
Well, it was movie week last week.
I love it. I just love it.
Absolutely that. We need to work with the themes. We'll start with you, Hannah, first of all, because obviously it was, of course, sad to see you go. How was that experience for you? Because I think when we have people on the sofa and we talk like reality shows and we talk kind of the competitions, for me, Dancing on Ice is the bravest choice because all I hear is injury after injury. Like, it's a real skill. It's not like sort of learning something that you can half wing. This is a real skill, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm kind of glad I'm out of it in one piece. Do you know what I mean? And I've got everything intact.
She's happy to be on the sofa.
Works, yeah. And I could watch it next Sunday on the couch. But it is like, it was amazing to learn that skill. And yes, it is completely dangerous. You know, anything can go wrong. I had something that went wrong 3 hours before
We saw in the rehearsal
performance.
clips.
It wasn't like anything
No.
major.
But it still does
just
knock you.
Of course.
And it just reminds you that, you know, anything could go wrong at any time. There's just a lot to think about with every move to make it go right.
Yeah.
But you did have a great pro. You had Andy, didn't
I had
you?
Andy. And
He
did help.
seems fantastic. What was he like to work with?
Yeah, he was fantastic. Obviously, he's done it for years and he was definitely the right partner for me. He was completely, you know, he pushed me out of my comfort zone. And yeah, it was just amazing. It was
That's
just
what
a
you
joy
need, isn't it? When you're embarking on something like that, you need a real good, solid partner, don't you? I can only imagine that. Look at you there as Elsa. Look, your daughters must have absolutely.
Even that, I'd have that like, on my gravestone. You know what I mean? I'd be like, I did that.
They must have loved watching you perform.
Do you know what my little is? She went, does Mummy have Elsa's superpowers? I know.
Clearly you do.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, and
Their
so
faces, though.
I know, their little
faces.
faces. So
That's what it's all about, isn't it?
And we know
exactly.
you've got an autoimmune disease, and that's got involved when it's come down to training at points. So you've had to miss a few rehearsals.
Yeah.
At times. How much impact did that have on the whole Dancing on Ice experience?
It had a massive impact on the start, especially. I felt like I've only really come into my own in the last 2 weeks.
Right.
And I've been solid in terms of feeling good every day. So, yeah, there was a lot of up and downs, and then the last 2 weeks have been solid. So I felt like I was about to sort of like
it's taken a minute to get there. Yeah.
But I'm grateful to have had that sort of exercise on a daily basis because I feel so much stronger for
Well,
it.
you could say, I mean, you broke
know.
the ice. You could say.
Yeah.
And talking of breaking the ice, hello, icebreakers.
Oh, my God.
Now, you two.
He's here till 12:30, everybody.
12:30, Monday to
Seamless.
Thursday. That's what we call a segue in television. When did this come about? And why have you not been doing it for the last however long?
Well, thank you for saying that. No, I've actually been trying to do this for the past 3 or 4 years, actually before COVID started. But when you're on the show as a professional, you have no time to even do your own laundry.
No.
Yeah.
Let alone co-host a podcast, come up with the concept. So when I decided this year to retire, I was like, oh, I've got some free time this year. And no better person to do it alongside than with Frankie.
And it's so nice.
It's the outfits for me, Frank. Look. I mean, the podcast, you're sitting there, you've got your little gilet on. I'm loving it.
Yeah. We decided to go all glamorous. I mean, I think it's just nice for us to be able to share our expertise with the fans because, you know, you get the little comments from the judges, 1 or 2 lines. They can't really explain what's going on backstage. They can't really explain what's going on behind the scenes. And I think we are really perfectly placed to be able to bridge that gap and dive deeper and tell people, this is what's happening in this lift, this is why it went wrong, or this is why they shone bright this week.
Do you know what? You're so right, because they sort of give a critique, and I might watch it and think, hang on, that seems a little bit harsh. I didn't really notice that, but because it's a live show and the nature of it, there's not enough time to elaborate on that.
They pack so much into that hour and a half, especially this past week. There was 11 couples.
There was no skate-off, was there?
Yeah, and no skate-off. And what was, like, even Jane saying, we want you to work on the basics, but you guys at home don't know what the basics are.
No.
So that's what we do on the podcast, is really explain what the judges' critiques are, how it all pans out, what you guys are feeling, and So
sometimes we can even pick up, just from watching them backstage or on the VT, we can tell what kind of week they've had, because we've been through it so many times with so many celebs. So we know even where their heads are, not just what they're doing physically on the ice.
Well, I used to do it at Big Brother with Bit on the Side. I would call this Pick on the Side, by the way.
I like that.
I love it. It's like basically a Dancing on Ice spin-off.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about the pod, because you two have been through it. You know what it's like. And we don't get to see that much, especially when you've got so many contestants. The time is so short on the main show. To have that sort of debrief is fantastic. Why have you only just started doing it? Why have you not been doing it forever?
I don't know.
It's so strange because we work together so well as well, and it's so nice to have Matt here in the country and to be able... We were going to do this from our bedrooms, literally, from him from LA and me covered in caps,
It's giving
obviously.
COVID. It's giving COVID.
And then we've got this amazing studio now, and it's so nice to be back together, not on the ice, but back together. It's lovely.
So who have you got your eye on? I know, because it must be hard to be objective. You've worked on the show for a long time. Who, for you, is up there?
I have to say, out of the 16 series that we have had from day one, this is probably the deepest pool of talent that we have had. And especially, like, with Adele, her journey, we have never seen anything like this on Dancing on Ice before.
She's an amazing storyteller, and I think the minute she steps on the ice, you're just waiting. What's she going to do this week? So different the 2 weeks that we've seen. And we've also seen her, because we've got expert eyes, we've seen her actually improve hugely over that period.
Well, look, keep doing it, because we love the pod. Hannah, I can't let you go without asking, you still going to skate? You still going to keep those...
I am.
Yeah?
I want to teach my eldest.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Who's
that's so
5.
nice.
Well, that's what you
Yeah.
That's what we want for you.
They're only going to want you dressed as Elsa, though. That's the problem.
Every Sunday now.
Sorry,
So do I.
you need to bring that Elsa.
That's all I want. Lovely to see you.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.